Ladies and gentlemen, before I speak, first thank you all for coming out to this momentous occasion. It's not often that we get to commemorate someone while they're still here in our presence. and looking good. Before I continue, I'd like to introduce someone who I asked to speak yesterday because I'll be honest, this entire idea came about after hearing of Mrs. Fleming's retirement from a conversation that I had with this gentleman. So I'd like to introduce one of three boys who chased me down when I threw a snowball at the wrong house moving into the neighborhood, and Greenwich Committeeman Will Spencer.
Don't forget the worm.
Thank you all for coming today. It's a very honored occasion. And I have the calluses on my fingers to prove all the writing assignments that I would have when I gave her the nickname back in 1983, 84, 85. She would cross me over here. She's crossed over 1 million children with no accidents at this corner. And Granny, if you know her, when she would go to cross somebody and a car was coming, oh my God, her voice, you stop right there, you don't leave that corner. And you stopped. I mean, some of the toughest kids I've seen in the middle school, when she spoke, oh yeah, they listened. They just kind of hung out with her right there. But back in those days, when you're like a little kid hanging out and getting crossed and stuff, the crossing guards in the society was like a mother figure for everybody. You know, you could tell her your problems, you can talk to her. If your mom was late for coming to pick you up, you would stand over there, give haircuts, throw worms at everybody and stuff. But she was the type of person that wouldn't leave the corner until the last kid crossed. And she cared about every single child that came across this intersection. Again, the mother figure aspect of everything. Whatever the weather condition was, she stood there. Whatever situation arose, or somebody was fighting over there, all she had to do was just yell, and you were like, whoop, okay, let me get that picture. And then she would tell you, you run away before the teachers come up here to get you. And then you go away, and the next day it's like, hi, Mrs. Fleming. How you doing? How are you? But she knew every child just about by name crossing the street from all the years of coming through here. I can't say enough about her because of all the aspects of the family environment, taking care of her kids, her family, and every student that crossed at this intersection was one of her children. You know, she has over 1 million crossings here. Somebody say that about anything else in this town, crossing all these kids with no accidents? She controlled this. She was the dominant force of nature. So when I gave her the nickname of Granny in the beginning, she was a little upset. She would yell and say, 50 times, I will not call Mrs. Fleming Granny. All right, Granny. And I'd write it down, I'd give it to her, and a week later, and all of a sudden it went from 50 to 45 to 40, and then finally I think I broke her. She gave in, and now everybody has her with that. But she's a wonderful person. You see her out in today's society, and she's always, oh, hi, Mr. Spencer. Hi, Will. How are you? You know, she still knows everybody. She's at the supermarket, and the kids are coming up to her. Granny! Giving her hugs. Oh, this is my student from back in this day and that day. So, for today's honor, for a street dedicated to her after 37 years of service, is phenomenal. You know, not many people can say that this was her corner. And now, for all the future, this is Granny's Corner. So, on behalf of the Greenwich Committee and the town of Phillipsburg and all the students that you have crossed and represented, I'm honored to be here today for you so much. For your president.
Committeeman, thank you. Will, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. I'm not as good as Bill, so I had to write mine down. And I'm going to try and do it without the glasses. I apologize, they are prescription, but I don't like when it looks like I'm wearing sunglasses. It seems to be unprofessional. So what I will say is, in 1989, when I started my 6th grade year at the Phillipsburg Middle School, I will never forget the first time I heard the sound of that voice. All right, let's go. At the time, she was an older woman, shoulder-length black hair, with a hint of gray streaks, probably caused by the youth of Phillipsburg, standing in the middle of the road with a whistle in the corner of her mouth, with a stop sign in one hand, and the other hand extended, ensuring traffic didn't run us over. Although I'm sure, putting up with us for the 3 years that we spent in school, she may have wanted to put her hand down a few times, just to let a car quick slide by and alleviate her headache. She garnished many nicknames over the years. For us, she was known as Battle Axe. For others, Granny. And there's probably someone that we're not allowed to say right here today. And we tortured her almost every single day. But with all that we did, and with all the antics that she had to put up with, the fights she found herself breaking up right there on that corner, to the hyperactive, unruly kids that would hop off the curb before being told to do so, she never gave up. And there was never a day that I can remember where she was not here on this corner, doing exactly what she loved. Fast forward 20 years. My son started his 6th grade year in the middle school, and imagine my surprise learning that this woman, now a bit more gray, minus the whistle, and a bit more docile while she was crossing our children. I was amazed, but I was also elated and took solace in the fact that knowing my children were in good hands. Looking back on the years that I spent wreaking havoc right here on that corner, I never would have thought I'd be where I am today, in a position to humbly carry out this honor. But I'm glad that I am. As we grow older, as we all know, stop making a fish and make me cry. As we all know, there are many people that come and go in your life. But Mrs. Fleming stayed in mine. And although as a snotty little 6th grade brat, I was too oblivious to realize how dedicated and selfless she was, how committed she was, not only to the town of Phillipsburg, but to every single child that stood out in that intersection that she crossed to protect, in all kinds of weather and dealing with all different types of people. It's now, as a 40-year-old brat, that I'm proud to say that I do realize and appreciate all that you have done. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for looking out for our children over the 37 years with the town of Phillipsburg. And know that if there's anything that you ever need, anything at all, we will always be here for you the way you have been here for us. Now, I know it's been a running joke that we've had to wait until you were dead before this occasion took place. Where's your son? But that's not how we do things here in Phillipsburg. When you announced your retirement, I simply couldn't imagine this corner or this street not having a Mrs. Fleming on it. It just didn't seem right. Now, I'm sure your replacement's doing a fabulous job here on Anderson Street, and she'll continue to do so. But when she comes back to work on Monday morning, there's going to be a Fleming right back here where they belong, on Fleming Drive.
You know what? Let's not just play around.
That we passed unanimously, naming this Fleming Drive, so you have it forever. God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for coming out. You hear from Mrs. Fleming one last time.
Wait, stay up there. Stay up there.
Wait, up here.
Climb up the ladder, yeah. Oh, no! Megan did this on me. What did I do? Hop off the wall. Mom, look forward.
Oh, what do you want?
Get the ladder out of the bag.
Tell me to
Steve, want to do a picture?
man, you gotta be coming and going.
That's easier.
This one, not me. This is my muscle now. I don't do it. Oh, stay there.
Now get over there with all the council.
Get out of the way.
Wait a minute, I have to wait for pea brain.
Yes. Hey, it's not my fault you're doing.
Oh, there we go.
Councilman Davis. Nope.
I had my never rolling down the hill. Oh, I saw it.
Try to take over my role.
I know.
Everybody look this way.
Good, how are you?
Mr. Look this way.
Mr. Look, this way.
Yeah, how about that?
What?
This way. You want me to hold the flowers so you can get a good picture of Dad? Yeah, Mom, you make your flowers.
Now I gotta take her over.
Look, you get overtime. Oh, you can see. Well, that's nice of you.
Well, this is all Donna's camera, so.
And what do you guys are getting there? Family. You want just the girls or you want the grandkids?
I would say you guys.
Just the girls or you want the grandkids?
She's not listening.
Grandchildren.
All right.